Welcome back, fellow true crime enthusiasts, to another chilling episode of Scare Watch UK. Today, we delve into a series of cases that have baffled investigators for decades, sending shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned detectives. Brace yourselves as we embark on a journey into the darkest corners of human nature where secrets lurk and justice remains elusive. Get ready to uncover the truths behind Monkesville. Number 5. The Blood Moon Murders. In this eerie town, a chilling tale of horror and fright unfolded, captivating the world with its macabre twists and turns. This is the tale of a silent predator hiding amongst the people of Monkesville. Our story begins in 1978. A moonlit night began with the disappearances of 3 teens out for a joyride on the spring night. They were discovered on the Monkesville West Bridge, their necks torn open and the blood seemingly drained from their bodies. The townspeople, fueled by superstition, whispered tales of an ancient vampire lurking in their own town, with the rumors ranging from completely ludicrous to gaining an interest by the police and media. Renowned journalist and private investigator Frank Frinkle wrote an exciting piece on the murder and the possibilities presented, leading to the uncovering of an ancient cult known as the Order of the Crimson Moon, which operated somewhere in the Monkesville Preservational Woods in 1908. All known members of the clandestine group were long dead, so the lead went cold. A year later, a man was placed under citizen's arrest after being discovered mailing a human kidney to the Monkesville edition where Frank Frinkle worked. And so, with the evidence linking him to the crime, the Monkesville vampire was identified as Victor Lucius, a 55-year-old man with the appearance of a much younger one. He had been extracting the organs of various missing people and livestock in the Monkesville and surrounding Whispering Pines area. It's unknown how many lives the Monkesville vampire claimed, as he died of suicide in his prison cell before his truths could be revealed. The silver iron prison bar lodged in his chest. The town shared a collective sigh of relief, knowing the true monster had been put to justice. Number 4. Vanishing Shadows, the Ratman Story. October 18, 1954 started as any ordinary day for the people of Monkesville. The town was gearing up for the annual Halloween celebration when there came a cry from the nearby sewage pipe close by the woods. A boy was discovered crying and wailing hysterically. His right hand was missing and he sat upright against a log. As strewn next to him was the corpses of 2 other young men, torn and shredded beyond recognition. The boy couldn't speak. Later psychologists compared the shock, fright and terror to that of prisoner of war survivors from the First and Second War. The town went into panic. Rumors of a great rat creature had circulated amongst the hikers and explorers of the woods, but never had this been so prominent in the town itself. One would imagine the Halloween festival being canceled. Yes, no. The festival went along as planned, with an extra mascot on the floater. That's right. The town officials thought it suitable to commission a giant Ratman costume for a performer too. Where? Not only was this in poor taste, but it panicked the town further when the mascot was mistaken for the actual creature and smacked around by the crowd. Needless to say, the town officials wanted no mention of the Ratman after this incident, and the creature was relegated to campfire stories and the tellings of crazed UFO-obsessed theorists. That began in the town, following a photograph taken by the previously mentioned Frank Frinkle, who managed to capture a well-known photograph of an unidentified object soaring above the skies of Monkesville. What of the young survivor? He was shipped off to a mental health psychiatric hospital where he committed suicide a few years later. Since then, supposed sightings of the Ratman have plagued the town for years, with faked images mixed in with supposed real encounters and sightings. I think it's fair to say that this mystery will continue to be unsolved. Number 3. A Cry in the Dark, John Stevens. Michael Carlos and Steve Green were all roaming the Monkesville Preservational Woods at 7:09 p.m. on Tuesday, the 4th of December, 2002, when they mysteriously vanished while out on a hunting trip. The trips were regular and quite frequent for the middle to late age trio, as they would hunt wild deer, squirrels, and any other animals recreationally in the dense wooded landscape. Days later, the three men were discovered staggering into the neighboring town of Whispering Pines. Bloody and unresponsive, Carlos had an audio recorder with him. The other two had completely shut down mentally, unable to communicate with anyone and mostly brain dead and paralyzed. The three were discovered with random missing bones and organs after they received no answers on what exactly happened in the woods. Police decided to send a search party into the area to try and discover anything. Nothing was found. Not even the missing organs or any signs of a bear attack or any attack in general. The case remains unsolved, with Steve leaving the country to escape whatever happened in the woods that night. Number 2. The Sandman Murders. This story begins in 1990 with the murder of 26-year-old Claudia Sanders, a woman found dead in the rafters of the Monkesville Methodist Church. The cause of death was suffocation. With small sand particles strewn about her hair, the killer was never seen entering or leaving the church. Later that month, to other bodies were discovered a 32-year-old Brian Williams and 46-year-old Marissa Jansen, found in the same manner of death. With sand sprinkled about their bodies, the killer earned his moniker of the Sandman. After claiming 3 lives, the Sandman would claim his final victim, 12-year-old Marcus Anthony. On his way home from school, Marcus would take a detour through the preservational woods, only to encounter the deranged killer. Lurking within the trees after this heartbreaking death, the police would triple their efforts and track down the killer hiding out in the woods. He was identified as Dr. Jonathan Reed, a well-respected member of the community who used a combination of sleeping medication and brute force to put his victims to sleep before the brutal attacks. Reed attempted to escape police capture, ultimately ending in his accidental death after being found impaled upon a tree. It's rumored that his ghost still haunts the area he died, due to an unknown figure that has also been responsible for countless deaths in the very same area. Going by the same name of the Sandman, is this the reanimated ghost of Jonathan Reed, or could be a copycat killer? Nevertheless, the town of Monkesville was finally safe from this monster, at least for a while. Number 1. The Tall Man Enigma. Our story begins on a mist-laden night in 2008, as the town residents were used to the curse of inexplicable disappearances that took place over decades. But on this particular night, 12 children vanished from their beds in the dead of night, more than any past disappearance at once. Fear spread like wildfire in the community, as whispers of a deranged child molester made the rounds through the streets of their fair town. The truth, however, was much stranger than the fictitious events the locals suggested. James Anderson, a local school teacher at Monkesville High, decided to investigate the disappearances of many of his own students himself. As the police were lacking in their investigation, who could blame them? No leads, no suspects, nothing but empty beds. James decided to work backwards. To the very first reported disappearance in 1915, he uncovered town secrets that had festered like an unhealed wound. As the investigation unfolded, a pattern emerged. Each family member reported the tree branches poking through the window, before appearing to move on their own and vanish. These reports later linked to a sighting of a tall creature near the homes, its presence suffocating and malevolent. There was a cover-up in the town, trying to hide information on this unknown creature stalking the woods at night, preying on the young and innocent, invoking ancient legends of the supernatural. Never swayed by rumor and myth, James meticulously pieced together the evidence and linked it all to the woods. And a man who steals children, he looked into the medieval legends of Der Ritter, the North American Wendigo, and even the fictional stories of H.P. Lovecraft. All these creatures bore a striking resemblance to the cases happening in Monkesville. Just as James was compiling his information and putting it online, it stopped. No more updates. No more posts from the obsessive school teacher. Most chalked it up to personal issues. The school holidays ending or a lack of any solid leads or interest. That was until September 12, 2008, where reports came of a house burning in Monkesville North. That house belonged to James Anderson, but his body was never found, leading to this case being added to the pages of the many unsolved mysteries of this strange town. As we conclude this episode, we are left with more questions than answers. The shadows of doubt still loom over each of these mysteries, reminding us that justice can sometimes be elusive. But let us not forget the victims, whose voices echo through the corridors of time, urging us to continue the search for truth. Join us next time as we delve into another spine-chilling case, where the line between fact and fiction blurs and the pursuit of justice never ceases. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, the truth is out there.